Hey guys, I wanted to go over how to avoid double brokering scams. Double brokering scams is happening a lot nowadays, and it's something that could put people out of business. If you follow these steps, there's a good chance that it never happens to you. It doesn't happen a lot for me as a broker, and I've been open for 4 years now, and I've been in the industry for 10 plus years. But it does happen. And if it does happen, it takes a lot of money from you, as well as the driver. So, main thing I want to go over is what is double brokering. Obviously, it's going to be tips on how to avoid it, but I just want to kind of explain, what it is. So I've got a few things written here. Double brokering happens when a fraudulent carrier or company takes a load from a load board, then reposts it as if it was their own, typically offering a higher rate to attract legitimate carriers. When the real drivers deliver the load, the fraudulent company takes the payment and disappears, leaving both the freight broker and the legitimate carrier. Uh, it just leaves them high and dry. So pretty much, whenever I get a load from a customer, I post it on the load board, right? And someone else says, "Hey, I'll take that load. It looks like a good load," right? Then they take that load that I have and then repost it to another and tries to sell it to another driver, right? So this is double brokering. They then will say the fake driver or the fake carrier that took the load from you just sold it to a real carrier, right? The real carrier is going to go and pick up the load, deliver it, and then the fake carrier is going to ask for payment from the broker. So the fake carrier receives the payment and then leaves, disappears, closes their company. Now the driver and the freight broker are out money. The driver is looking for his money to get paid, and then me, I paid the fake carrier, and now I'm out of money, right? So this is what freight double brokering is, and that's the scam aspect of it all. There's a lot of double brokers out there that aren't scamming. They just double broker to try and make money, which hurts the carrier because then they get nothing. But again, this is the scam aspect of it. How does so I'll go into some tips on how to avoid it. Check the carrier's MC and their business history. So you can go on the FMCSA website and go to MC lookup. Basically, type in their MC and see how long they've been open. Before doing business, always check the carrier's MC on the FMCSA website. Look how long they've been in business. If they've only been around for a few months, that's a huge red flag. So if they've anything less than 90 days, I wouldn't use them just because that's normally when they double broker. They open the MC within 90 days, they try to get as much money as possible and then shut their company down. So it's a huge red flag. Don't use them if they're under 90 days. Now, I'm not saying all new MC authorities are bad people. I would just to avoid being scammed, I wouldn't use them. Tip two, verify phone numbers. Always make sure that the phone number that the carrier provides matches the one listed on the FMCSA website. If it doesn't, it's a major red flag. Call the FMCSA listed number and verify that the person handling your load is actually the representative of that company. So when you look up their MC, if their phone number doesn't match the person that's trying to get the load from you, that's a huge red flag. Normally, I would call that number from the FMCSA and see, hey, does this number, the person that's trying to take the load from me, are they correlated with you? Do they work for your company? Do they work for your business? And this is a huge tip that I normally use. And if he's like, yeah, yeah, that's who I work with, then that's okay. But if they're like, no, I have no idea who that is, you are about to get scammed by a double broker. So be careful with that. That's one of the very simple tips that I like to use. Tip three, use Carrier 411 and TIA Watchdog. These are two services that you can go in and see if they have been red flagged or have done any fraudulent activity in the past. These are systems that, brokers and carriers all go and report these people. So you can go and use these services, type in the MC, and pretty much see if they're red or black flagged, blacklisted, or have a freight guard on them. So don't use them if they say not to use them. Those are really good sources to use. Tip four: Be aware of these red flags. There are a few big warning signs to watch out for. Resistance to tracking. So if you wanted tracking, with your carrier, and they're like, no, I don't want tracking. That's simply because they don't want you to know that their carriers aren't in that area. They're just trying to steal the load and steal money from you. Quick pay request. If they immediately ask for half up front or pay me immediately at delivery, that that's a huge red flag as well because they want to just take the money and then disappear. Because if you don't pay them right away, me and the real driver are going to eventually connect, right? Because the real driver hasn't been paid yet. So that's another red flag. So don't use them if they're immediately trying to get paid. Um, Too good to be true rates. So if you post the load and you negotiate with the guy and he immediately says something like, yeah, I'll take the load under rate value, like market value, like market rate. So if we know that we can find a truck for $1,000 and the market's at $1,000 and the carrier takes it, he's like, I'll take it for 500. That's immediate red flag. No, he's not gonna be able to make money in this market at that rate. So that right there is also a red flag. They're just trying to get the money and sell it to another carrier for a higher rate, and then obviously steal the money. So the conclusion is double brokering is a real issue in the freight industry, but if you stay alert and follow these steps, you can avoid falling victim to these scams. Remember to always do your due diligence, verify who you're working with, and look out for red flags. Stay safe and protect your business. Please, please, please follow these steps. I've never been scammed, double brokered scammed because I've always used these steps. And if any of them come up and there's a red flag, remember, just don't use them. Find someone else. It's not worth it because it's a lot of money you could be out of. And if you're really desperate for the load, I mean, worst case, you have to give back the load to the carrier or the customer. And at least you didn't get scammed out of your money. But please follow these steps, and I promise you, you won't get scammed. Thank you guys. Bye bye.